Liverpool are experiencing one of those moments when the euphoria of victories and the concerns behind the scenes walk hand in hand. Under the guidance of Arne Slot, the team are piling up wins, sitting at the top of the Premier League and displaying a brand of football that blends intensity with organisation. 5 flawless matches, not a single point dropped, with 11 goals scored and only 5 conceded. The atmosphere in the Anfield stands is one of celebration, confidence and hope for yet another historic season. However, not everything is rosy. Behind the curtain of strong performances, a story is unfolding that threatens to shake the very foundations of this campaign. The central figure in this plot is Ibrahima Konate. Signed in 2021, the French defender quickly won the hearts of the fans and became a cornerstone of the Reds' backline. Strong, fast and imposing, he has turned into one of those practically irreplaceable players, so much so that Arne Slot has relied on him for almost every minute played so far. The problem? Konate's future is far from certain, and the risk of losing a gem of his calibre has Anfield on red alert. The defender's contract has entered a delicate stage, and attempts by the board to secure a renewal have so far failed. More than that, there are clear signs that the player is unwilling to accept the offers placed on the table. For many, this resistance is the strongest clue yet that he already has other plans in mind, and the rumours circulating in the background only reinforce that impression. According to reports, it is not just 1 or 2 clubs interested. Konate is in the sights of an entire battalion of giants. Real Madrid have emerged as the strongest candidate, ready to invest heavily to make the Frenchman their new defensive leader. Bayern Munich are also monitoring closely, seeing in him the perfect piece to strengthen their backline. But what truly frightens Liverpool is the movement within the Premier League itself. Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester City have all appeared as direct rivals ready to pounce. This scenario puts Liverpool in an uncomfortable position. After all, losing Konate to a domestic rival would not only mean giving up a star, but also strengthening a direct competitor in the title race. Picture him wearing Arsenal's shirt once again, alongside William Saliba, his international teammate. Or perhaps bolstering Chelsea, who are desperately searching for defensive stability. Worse still, imagine Konate marshalling Pep Guardiola's backline at Manchester City. The mere existence of these possibilities is enough to send shivers down any Liverpool supporter's spine. In Spain, the story is already treated as near certain. The local press speaks of an open secret that Real Madrid will do everything to land Konate. Journalist Fabrizio Romano, renowned for his accurate insights, recently reinforced his view. According to him, although talks are still in the early stages, Los Blancos see him as the golden opportunity to finally resolve their search for a young, talented centre-back ready to take on a leading role. Romano also recalled that Real's initial priority was Saliba, but after the defender renewed with Arsenal, all their chips were placed on Konate. And what about Arsenal? Despite already having Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes and the young Mosquera, it would not be surprising at all if the Gunners attempted to weaken a direct rival while strengthening their own squad. Even so, the statistics of the Saliba-Konate partnership in the French national team are not the most encouraging. In 10 games, together they conceded 12 goals, which raises some alarm bells. But we all know how football works. Often numbers take a back seat when it comes to weakening an opponent and reinforcing power narratives within the league. Inside Anfield, Liverpool's board have no choice but to act quickly. Richard Hughes, the new sporting director, knows that losing Konate would open a painful wound. Therefore, while trying until the last minute to persuade the Frenchman to stay, the club are already eyeing possible replacements. Mark Gahey of Crystal Palace was very close to arriving at Anfield last summer, but the deal never went through. Now, to make matters worse, rumours suggest that Gahey himself may be offering his services to Real Madrid for a free transfer in 2026. If confirmed, such a move would corner Liverpool even further.
While trying to resolve the defensive dilemma, the club are also moving in other areas. Ryan Gravenberch, who's been establishing himself as a valuable midfield option, is expected to be handed a new contract soon to fend off interest from other giants. There are also discussions about the possible return of Kostas Tsimikas, currently on loan, after his solid debut at Roma. These are signs that, even amid uncertainty, Liverpool's planning machinery never stops. But it is impossible to ignore the question echoing among fans. How would the team cope without Konaté? Arne Slot, known for his tactical acumen and ability to extract the best from his players, would need to find quick solutions, perhaps putting more faith in promising youngsters from the academy, or even altering the defensive structure to compensate for the absence of a pillar. But would that be enough to keep the club competitive across all fronts, the Premier League, Champions League, and domestic cups? For many, the answer is no. Konaté is not just another player. He represents security, leadership, and trust. His absence would therefore be more than a technical issue. It would be a psychological blow, both for the squad and the fans. It is like removing the cornerstone from a solid structure. The entire building risks collapsing. And for the player himself, this is the opportunity to take a leap that could define his career. At Real Madrid, he would have the chance to write history alongside the likes of Bellingham, Camavinga, and Vinicius Jr. At Bayern, he would be part of a project seeking reconstruction after years of domestic dominance and some European disappointments. At Arsenal, Chelsea, or City, he could cement himself as one of the great reference points in the world's most competitive league. It is not easy to resist so many possibilities. Thus, the story of Ibrahima Konaté becomes a true soap opera of European football. Every statement, every behind-the-scenes movement, and every gesture on the pitch is scrutinized under a magnifying glass by journalists, executives, and supporters alike. Liverpool, while celebrating their fine form, know they must deal with this looming threat. And while Arne Slot tries to keep his focus on the present, the shadow of the future hangs over Anfield. If Konaté stays, the Reds have everything in place to consolidate a new era of triumphs, further strengthening Slot's project. But if he leaves, the club will face a dangerous crossroads, requiring quick and bold decisions to prevent the fall from being as sudden as it is unexpected. One thing is certain: the outcome of this saga will deeply shake the balance of power in European football and could define the course of the 2025 season and beyond. Konaté's future remains shrouded in uncertainty and could completely reshape Liverpool's plans. Yet, while this saga unfolds, Anfield's backstage is already in motion. Richard Hughes has not stood idle and has set out in search of an immediate solution. The director believes he has found the perfect centre-back to reinforce the Reds' defence, a Spanish star valued at an eye-watering €50 million. Want to know who this player is and why he could be the key to Arne Slot's future? Then click on the card beside and find out right now. See you there.